Another part of my journey that was, I would have to say, it's actually the biggest part, and that is about forgiveness. I was trying very hard to forgive my ex-husband. And one day as I was sitting in my chair just reading a book, all of a sudden there was a movie that went off in my head. I didn't know at that time about the third eye or very much about the metaphysical world. But it was my third eye that opened. And what I witnessed and I heard, I saw my husband and my ex-husband and myself at home before we actually incarnated, discussing our upcoming life. And I knew nothing about this. I had no knowledge about any of that this was possible. And I found myself, was listening to myself, telling him how to treat me, how to ridicule me. I gave him the words that he was to use. I was emotionally abused our entire marriage. So for me to witness firsthand how it was myself that had directed him how to treat me, it was mind-blowing. He was not very eager in doing it, because you got to remember, when we're out of our physicality, when we're home, we are pure love. We are absolutely pure unconditional love. We don't even remember anything of this physicality, of the pain and the suffering and the darkness that we sink down in. But after he and I talked for a while, what he did, he changed his mind, because it would correspond with what he was here to learn also in other areas of his life. And then the movie ended, and I was sitting there absolutely dumbfounded. And I started crying, I started laughing, and I said out loud, and I said, "There's nothing to forgive." And once I said the word, "There's nothing to forgive," and I was laughing and crying at the same time, it was like a 10,000-pound brick falling off my shoulder. And I ran to the phone, laughing and crying. I called him, and I said, "I know you're not going to understand what I'm saying, but I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for having fulfilled your agreement with me." It became completely quiet at the other end of the phone, and then a very dignified voice came and said, "You are welcome." Nothing else. Since that day on, his entire behavior changed with me, because our contract, our agreement was completed. He was showing me all that I was not. We're living in a world of duality, of the opposite of the truth. That's what the third dimension of consciousness is about. So we can experience the extremes and truly come to experience who we are. We're recognizing that these emotions, the quote-unquote negative emotions, has nothing to do with who we are at all.